Well, I'll be back from the break. Let's continue with business today. In the last 6 years, Uganda's honey exports have more than doubled, and the Line Ministry believes that the industry now makes up a significant portion of the country's GDP. Uganda's honey exports are constantly increasing, with revenue already totaling more than 160 billion shillings annually. According to the report, Uganda is now starting to access markets in Europe and Asia, with the export volumes rising each year following years of subpar honey production and processing. Let's have more in this report.
Only 5,000 metric tons of honey are produced annually in Uganda, despite having a production capacity of approximately 500,000 metric tons. If produced properly, Ugandan honey is regarded as some of the best in the world. Bushenyi, Bugisu, Nakasongora, Kabarore and West Nile region of Uganda are where honey is produced.
And honey are very important to our economy. We all know that 75% of the food that we consume is pollinated by bees.
Because the majority of producers do not have UN-based standard mark, they encounter challenges when trying to export honey, and as a result, their products are unable to compete on the international market. Kenya is our largest market.
Also export to Kenya. I export honey and beeswax. In a year, I export about 5 tons of beeswax to Kenya. If you value it, it is around 40 to 50 million of the beeswax. Then I also sell the propolis tincture, ranges from 12 to 15 million that I export to Kenya.
Quantity of our honey. At the moment, we do not export because I don't have the Q mark, but I hope to get the Q mark in the near future. I've already made the necessary preparations, and that is when the export can conveniently start.
Nevertheless, despite the volume of goods Uganda sends to Kenya, it also imports goods from other nations such as Turkey.
We are really not exporting much because currently Uganda, we are a net importer of honey. We produce less than we consume. So we still actually import. Most of the honey that comes is usually from the UAE, from Turkey. So we are working towards covering that gap.
A litre of honey costs 20,000 Ugandan shillings and 5 litres cost 100,000 Ugandan shillings. A 20-litre jelly can costs 350,000 Ugandan shillings. West Nile is the leading producer of honey, followed by Western Uganda. For Uganda to have a thriving honey industry, it must follow either the Zambian or the Ethiopian system of where the beekeepers work together to feed a specific market. This will improve in both quality and quantity of honey produced. Monica Nabyonga, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
All right, now, it is estimated that Uganda has 6.5 million barrels of oil reserves. However, only 1.4 billion barrels are economically recoverable. Through recent developments and policies, Uganda has attracted several investments, which has blessed the East African country with the likes of Africa's top oil-producing countries, such as Nigeria and Angola. More about this in this future story.
Due to the amount of fuel used, the distance from Kampala, Adjumani to Moyo has a significant impact on the price of your travel.
But are you getting clean or you need to wipe his mirror?
As if that weren't enough, in order to get from Adjumani to Moyo district, you must once more spend hours waiting at the Laropi landing point for a ferry that will take you there free of charge. Once at the landing area, it will disembark and another group will board. Leaders from the two districts have consistently urged to the government to expedite the building of the bridge over River Nile connecting the two districts. According to the leaders, the timetable of the ferry, they claim, is unreliable, and this has negatively impacted household incomes and economic growth by decreasing trade in the West Nile region. Additionally, the daily transportation of products and services has also been hampered as a result of using the ferry to pass over.
The economic development of the people of Moyo for many years is stagnated because of the River Nile barrier. That has greatly impacted negatively on the movement of goods and services and the movement of the people. For us in Moyo district, our movement is restricted by a government timetable. In a day, while the rest of Uganda can move and goods and services can move 24 hours a day, in Moyo we do half of that. Movement of people, goods and services is done for 12 hours because we follow a timetable of the ferry. And this restricts our movements, this restricts goods and services delivery, and this has affected even the commodity prices.
There were multiple tragic accidents on the region prior to the start of the ferry services in June 2022. For instance, a family of 5 from Darfur sub-county in Moyo district died in a boat accident in 2011 as families were traveling home for the holidays. On a busy day, the ferry carries a bus, 2 trucks and 2 vehicles, and a handful of motorcycles, bicycles and passengers. The operating hours for the ferry are 7 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Communication and transport is a factor of production. And we say time is money. Like I'm also from Germany, that's why I came late here. The ferry delayed me there. And also the minister confessed and said he was held at the ferry place. So time is money. The more you delay, the more amount of money you lose. That's why the Europeans have developed so far, because they keep time. And if really if we can be able to get a bridge across the River Nile, then you will see how this region will be open up for socio-economic development. Because we have here in the South Sudan, we have Okajokeji over here. And also those who come from Aru and so on will pass via here to go to Nimule and Juba.
The feasibility studies for the proposed Nile River Bridge connecting Ajumani to Moyo district via the ferry landings at Omi and Laropi began in 2019 by a team from the Uganda National Roads Authority. The Uganda National Roads Authority, which oversees the ferry transit system, employs boat operators at the Laropi landing site location.
Minus ferry, you cannot cross because the river Nile is, you see how the ferry park the vehicle. So this vehicle cannot cross without the ferry.
Other unfinished projects include tamaking the roads from Atiak to Laropi with funding from the European Union, and those from the Laropi to the southern Sudan border towns of Moyo and Afoji with assistance from the East African Development Bank.
In many other districts, why not us? Can you imagine we have been this way right from the time God created this world? We have been suffering. How many years now have we lived here since the creation of the world? For how long are we going to live in this situation? You cannot talk about Moyo without addressing, you cannot talk about the development, prosperity, the development aspirations of the people of Moyo without addressing the problem of a bridge on the River Nile. The day you put a bridge there and you upgrade our road from Laropi to South Sudan border, Moyo will be opened to economic prosperity, and the livelihoods and the economy of this area will grow.
At least 1,000 people are predicted to cross the bridge each day once it is finished. which will advance the nation's economic development and raise household incomes by fostering trade in Uganda's West Nile areas. One would think that Uganda National Roads Authority is doing a fantastic job there because they have another ferry that connects Ajumani to Obongi. But local leaders believe that the government can do better than this. Pedson Mumbere, Smart 24 TV.
All right, many thanks for being part of Business Today. It is Thursday, 8th September 2022. And of course, you've been an amazing audience wherever you are. This has been your daily report in here at Smart 24 TV. We've been coming to you live from Plot 42 on Isle Avenue. I'm Jerome Paul Sonko with Winnie Buyinza Nakauchi on sign language. Till tomorrow, have a blessed night. Good evening.